We're approving the emergency placement with the Parkers. There will be a formal hearing in 30 days, but I don't anticipate any issues." That evening, Detective Alvarez called with an update. Jason had been denied bail after threatening a guard. My parents had made bail but were under house arrest. Coach Bennett had been arrested on substance distribution charges after Eli Tran's testimony led to a search of his office. "We also had something interesting happen," she added. Cole Ramsey walked into the station with a box of recordings. Apparently, he's been documenting things for years, thinking it was funny, until he realized it was evidence. The next few days blurred together. School, where I was either a hero or a traitor depending on who you asked. The Parker house, where Mia and I were slowly learning what a normal family felt like. Phone calls from Aiden about the legal proceedings. Then came the text that changed everything. "This is Caleb, Melissa's brother. Jason's out. His parents posted some kind of emergency bail. Melissa's missing." I called him immediately. "What do you mean missing?" "She left for school this morning but never showed up. Her car's gone. She's not answering her phone." My blood went cold. I found Mrs. Parker and showed her the text. "We need to call the police," she said immediately. But even as we called, I had a sick feeling. Jason had always been possessive. If he thought Melissa had betrayed him by talking to us. My phone rang. "Mia, Jason's here," she whispered. "At school. He's in the parking lot." "Where are you?" "Library. With friends. But, he's got Melissa with him." She looked scared. I was already running for Mrs. Parker's car keys. "Call 911. Now." "Already did. But you know how long they take to get here." Mrs. Parker appeared, grabbing the keys from my hand. "I'm driving. You call Detective Alvarez." We made it to the school in record time. Jason's truck was in the parking lot, Melissa visible in the passenger seat. Jason stood by the driver's door, scanning the area. "Stay in the car, Mrs. Parker ordered. But I was already getting out. Jason saw me and his face twisted into an ugly smile. "There he is. My baby brother. The snitch. Let her go, Jason. She's my girlfriend. We're just talking." Through the truck window, I could see Melissa's terrified face. She mouthed something I couldn't make out. "The police are coming," I said. "You're violating your bail conditions just by being here. You think I care? You've already ruined my life. Might as well finish the job." He opened the truck door and I saw what Melissa had been trying to tell me. Jason had a knife. "Jason, don't do this." "Don't do what?" "Take my girlfriend for a drive. Have a conversation about loyalty." More cars were pulling into the parking lot. I recognized Rachel's Toyota, Cole's truck. Word had spread fast. "It's over, Jason. Let her go and maybe you can still make a deal." "A deal?" He laughed bitterly. "You know what my lawyer said. 25 to life. That's my deal. Because of you. Because of what you did. I didn't do anything those girls didn't want. Then why did you have to pay them to keep quiet?" His face went red. He grabbed Melissa's arm, pulling her partially out of the truck. She cried out. That's when everything happened at once. Cole's truck screeched to a stop directly behind Jason, blocking him in. Rachel jumped out of her car with Emma and several other girls. More cars arrived, parents who'd heard what was happening. Jason looked around wildly, realizing he was trapped. His grip on Melissa tightened. "Back off, all of you." "Jason, please," Melissa whimpered. "You're hurting me. I'm hurting you. I bought you jewelry. I treated you like a princess. And you betrayed me just like the rest." Sirens in the distance, getting closer. Jason's eyes darted between the growing crowd and the knife in his hand. "You won't do it," Cole said, stepping forward. "I know you, Jason. You're not a killer. You're just a bully who's finally getting caught. Shut up. You betrayed me too." "No. I finally stopped enabling you." "There's a difference." The police cars screamed into the parking lot. Officers poured out, weapons drawn. "Drop the knife." Detective Alvarez's voice boomed through a megaphone. "Let the girl go." Jason looked at me one last time. "This is all your fault." Then he shoved Melissa away and raised the knife, not toward her or anyone else, but toward himself. "Jason, no." I found myself running forward. The officers tackled him before he could do anything. The knife clattered across the asphalt. Melissa collapsed into Caleb's arms, sobbing. Jason was on the ground, screaming threats and obscenities as they cuffed him. "I'll kill you," he screamed at me. "I'll kill all of you." They dragged him away, still screaming. The crowd stood in shocked silence. "Everyone needs to clear out," Detective Alvarez announced. "This is a crime scene now." As people dispersed, I found myself standing with Mia, who had appeared from somewhere in the chaos. "Is it over?" she asked quietly. "I don't know." Mrs. Parker appeared, wrapping an arm around each of us. "Come on, let's go home." That night the news was full of the story: Jason's second arrest, the knife, the threats. My parents were shown being arrested again, this time for attempting to intimidate witnesses. Apparently, they'd been calling the other victims' families. "The whole house of cards is falling," Mr. Parker observed, turning off the TV. The next morning brought a call from Aiden. Jason's being charged with attempted kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, and making terrorist threats. He won't be getting out again. What about my parents? Their bail was revoked. They're being held pending trial. I should have felt relieved. Instead, I just felt empty. School was cancelled for the rest of the week. Mia and I spent the days at the Parkers trying to process everything. Other victims came by: Emma, Sarah, Melissa. We didn't talk about Jason or the case. We just existed in the same space, finding comfort in shared survival. Cole came by on Thursday, looking haggard. "I wanted to apologize," he said. "For all the years I stood by. For all the times I could have stopped him." "You can't apologize to me," I told him. "I'm not the one he hurt." He nodded. "The other girls, would they talk to me?" "I want to apologize to them." "You'd have to ask them." He left his number. Some of the girls would eventually call him. Others wouldn't. That was their choice to make. Friday brought another surprise. A woman showed up at the door, introducing herself as Jason's court-appointed attorney. "I need to inform you that Jason wants to make a deal," she said. "He'll plead guilty to all charges in exchange for a reduced sentence. But he has conditions." "What conditions?" "He wants a face-to-face meeting with you." "In prison? With attorneys present?" "Absolutely not," Mrs. Parker said immediately. But I found myself considering it. What does he want to say? He says he wants to apologize. To explain. He says you deserve to know the whole truth. I looked at Mia and Mrs. Parker. At this woman offering me a chance to face my brother one last time. "I'll think about it." She left her card. That night I couldn't sleep, turning the decision over in my mind. Did I want to hear what Jason had to say? Did it matter? Saturday morning, Detective Alvarez called with news that made the decision for me. "We found something in Coach Bennett's records. Documentation going back years. Your brother, he's been on performance enhancers since he was 14. Substances that are known to increase aggression, reduce empathy. It doesn't excuse what he did, but it explains some of it. Your parents knew. They signed consent forms. They paid for the treatments." I thought about Jason at 14, already being groomed to be a star, already being pumped full of chemicals that would change his brain. Still responsible for his choices, but maybe not entirely the monster I painted him as. "I'll meet with him," I decided. The meeting was set for Monday. Mrs. Parker insisted on coming with me, along with Aiden. The prison was an hour away, a gray building that looked exactly as depressing as I'd imagined. Jason looked smaller in orange, thinner. The arrogance was gone, replaced by something I'd never seen before: fear. "Hey," he said quietly. "Hey." We sat across from each other at a metal table, lawyers on either side. "I'm sorry," he started. "I know that doesn't mean anything. I know it doesn't fix anything. But I'm sorry." "For what, exactly?" "For all of it. For hurting Emma. For hurting all those girls. For trying to hurt you and Mia. For being what I became." "What you became. You chose." "I know. I chose to hurt people. I chose to use my strength against them. That's on me. But," he looked at his hands. "Do you remember when I was 14? When I started getting the injections? The steroids. Not just steroids. Other stuff. Stuff that made me feel invincible. Stuff that made me stop caring about consequences. Coach said it would make me a better player. Mom and Dad said it would secure my future. That's not an excuse. No, it's not. Plenty of guys took the same stuff and didn't become monsters. But I need you to know, the brother you remember. The one who taught you to throw a football when you were 6. He was real. Before the substances. Before the pressure. Before I let it all go to my head. I thought about those early memories, Jason helping me with homework. Jason defending me from bullies in elementary school. When had it all gone wrong? I'm going to plead guilty, he continued. To all of it. I'm going to get 25 years minimum. I'll be 45 when I get out. My life is over. The girls you hurt, I know. Their lives are changed forever because of me. I can't fix that. I can't take it back. All I can do is make sure I never hurt anyone again. Why did you want to see me? He was quiet for a long moment. Because you're my brother. Because despite everything, you tried to save me from myself that day in the parking lot. Because I wanted you to know that I know what I did was wrong. And because I wanted to ask you something. What? Look after Mia, she's going to need you. And, maybe write me sometimes. Not now, not for a long time. But maybe someday. I stood up. I can't promise that, I know. As we left, I looked back once. Jason sat at the table, head in his hands. My brother, the golden boy, reduced to a number in a system he'd never thought would apply to him. The drive back was quiet. Mrs. Parker finally spoke as we pulled into town. How do you feel? I don't know. Empty, sad, relieved, all of it. That's normal. It'll take time to process. The trial happened 2 months later. Jason pled guilty to all charges. My parents were convicted of witness tampering, conspiracy, and child endangerment. Mom got 5 years. Dad got 3. The restaurant was sold to pay legal fees and settlements to the victims. The football program was disbanded. Coach Bennett got 10 years for substance distribution and endangering minors. Several other coaches were fired. The principal resigned.